Happy New Year. Happy Rockets. Happy Rockets. What's our record in 2026?
Mm, what is it? 0-3? 0-3?
I think so. We only beat Brooklyn, which is like a
Yikes.
scrimmage.
Team trying to lose.
Oh boy. But yeah, man. Welcome to the Rockets Round Robin. It's been a little bit. How you feeling this year,
Yeah.
Mr. Chris?
Man, feeling good. I'm staying active, so I feel a lot better than I did in 2025, other than the Rockets. They seem
I
to be
know that's
letting me
right.
down.
I know that's right. I know that's right. I know that's right. There's good, bad, and ugly. I guess we're gonna try to run through it. Let's go ahead and just not even beat around the bush too much. Let's kind of start. Let's start off, man. We're gonna do a 35 game Rockets report card and probably some other stuff later on. Let's start with the good. What are you liking that we doing so far this season? What has made you tune in to watch so far, man?
Well, for a young team, I think with the young players, we're seeing a lot of flashes of good, right? The Reed Shepherds have had some good games, some carry games. Jabari Smith's had some really good games. Tari Eason, same thing. I think we're seeing from the young guys the kind of the ups and downs of it. But I think the ups are really nice and something that we can look forward to in the future. Whether the consistency can get up to par, that might change the overall of who are they as players. And then individually, I think Amen Thompson has developed into a lot more than I expected as far as a mid-range shooter. There's something there that's really nice. And obviously, Kevin Durant has really shown to be that he still has something in the tank and something that looks kind of sustainable for the future.
Yeah, this is not this ain't OKC or Golden State KD or even Brooklyn KD. This ain't the same guy. Those guys had some wiggle; they can get around people. This guy just posts up at the free throw line and hope somebody get on the ball. That's pretty much what KD is right now. However, for the most part, it's still effective. We're gonna touch on some of the downside. We're trying to be positive right now, at least for the first few seconds. Um, what else? What has surprised you throughout the season that we're doing that you probably didn't expect beforehand?
The shooting, the early in the year, the shooting was so good, and I just that was a big surprise. We can't go from the bottom third of the team in shooting to the top 1, 2 in shooting, especially from three. I know that it wasn't in high volume, but that was almost a good thing. If you had Kevin Durant, who was kind of a mid-game maestro, and then you had that means that other guys were making shots. That means the Taris, the Okogis, the Reeds, the Jabaris. Everybody was making shots outside of Kevin Durant, and I think that's what led to a lot of the success. That surprised me early. Now, obviously, it's come down a bit, but I still think that that's something that really surprised me. That was almost sustainable for a large portion of the season, and I guess what we're at 2/5 of the season or somewhere around there. And I feel like that, the shooting has regressed, but it's still been a big surprise and kind of a pleasant surprise at first.
Yeah, surprisingly enough, the Rockets are 13th in the league as a team in true shooting percentage and effective field goal percentage. Surprisingly enough,
It's a far cry from last year.
yeah, far cry from last year, which is good. Kind of doesn't look like it at times because I don't know if it's I don't know if it's a pace thing where if we're playing so slow, we can't really weaponize some of the things that we do well on offense that much in the first place. So and people may say, "Oh, it's because we need a point guard, Fred VanVleet." We played slow last year too; it didn't matter.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't know. I'm more of a I'm the type of guy like when there's an issue, I like to present a solution as well too. Um, One of the things that I thought this season that we might have done a little bit more of, which is where I was expecting Lynn Thompson to really come in, is play just a little bit faster. That's not happening. However, I'm not going to blame Amen Thompson for that. I think somebody should be running with Amen Thompson because a lot of times he's the only person like trying to make something happen in the fast break. Like he'll get the ball and he's gone and doesn't have a running mate with him. There's no reason why Jabari isn't running with him. There's no reason why when Alperen was healthy, there's no reason why Alperen wouldn't run with him. Like why not? Like it would be nice. It would be really nice if there was a big to just sprint from rim to rim because now you're forcing mismatches instead of hunting them in the half court. You can force it. Let's say they even play good defense and they stop you they stop you from getting a full a fast break opportunity. Well, that means that everybody was forced to match up and somebody on the wrong guy. So now you can get into your stuff a little bit faster. I don't know if it's something where if it's a player thing or if it's something that the coaching staff can just emphasize a little bit more, which is.
Well, I'd say that your emphasis with the coaching staff is going to be on the offensive glass, right? So when on the defensive glass, especially we're not the greatest defensive rebounding team. And when Amen does catch it, you do notice that he takes off, right? And it seems like he's been told that you have the first 5 to 6 seconds or 5 to 7 seconds in the shot clock. And then after that, you are a distributor from there, right? So he almost takes off by himself, like you're saying. And I think the personnel is kind of limited with that. I think we were blessed to have such a fast guard in Jalen Green. It seemed like he was always trying to run out, right? Like he seemed like he wasn't ever waiting for anything to make up. And I think that the personnel is way superior than last year, right? Like I think that we don't have that kind of system. Like Kevin Durant isn't a big runner. He'll run if he's at the top of at the point of the defense. But other than that, you pretty much just have Amen Thompson, and that puts him at a disadvantage. He's pretty much running 1-on-3, especially with the set defense. He's not much. So I think that you're absolutely right. I just don't think that the personnel is available for that. Reed Shepherd, which you would think would be a good runner, but he's more of a runner with the ball in his hands. In other words, he's better when he's passing it with it out of his hands or if he's able to pull up. But other than that, he's not a play or a transition finisher that you would really like around the rim. So he's limited in that regard. I just feel like our personnel we're not really athletic. You know, we were last year. We're long, but now we're not as athletic as we were last year. So I think last year it was amazing to me how we were able to be so good in the fast break and still be such a good to decent rebounding, defensive rebounding team. And I think I just put that all in Adams and Şengün.
Pretty much.
This year, I don't think we have that, right? We don't have that kick. You don't see very much kick ahead passing unless it's to Amen Thompson, get ready to go. But he's mostly having to crash the defensive glass now too with Şengün. So I just don't think the personnel is applied for it.
This is true. This is very true. One of the things that I was hoping would be the case is if we're gonna play so many long wings and long wingspan players a lot, I was expecting to create more turnovers. We don't create as many turnovers as I was expecting. As a matter of fact, one of the things that I thought would help with our pace and getting out and running was creating those turnovers in the half court and, guys sprinting to try to get easy opportunities. I mean, what I'm thinking, like last year, if you look at last year, we did a pretty good job of, turning people over and making them pay for it. This year, we're not turning people over as much with, you would think, better personnel to do that. Like, what's your thoughts on that?
There again, I think you're kind of asking guys that aren't used to playing as a fast-paced, run-out type of player into doing that, right? Like Tari and Amen and Reed are going to be the only three guys that have ever really played at that type of advantage, right? Most of our other guys are all playing in the half court their whole career. They're not much of I would go as far as to say that they've never really done that sort of thing. Like, I think they're all balanced and smart on D more than they're a playmaker on D. And we only have a couple of playmakers on that it really allow those kind of bump outs and defensive runouts and live ball turnovers. There's only a couple of them. And, I'm sure Ime's having to get them to cover for a lot of the defensive limitations that we have at the big spot. They have to play sound. They have to play in front of them. Where they can't really gamble too much because then you're putting all your bigs at a disadvantage. And we don't have a lot of rim protection in that regard. And so I think that, the defensive scheme probably allows them to, have to crash as well. Because we're not so great on the defensive glass, so he's probably on to him about crashing the defensive glass and having the guards help because we're not big outside of Steven Adams, and we're not big as far as wide as far as Steven Adams and Shane Gunner. That's the only ones. So I think we're having to get back, stay on the defensive glass, having to stay in front and just contest, and then cover on the defensive end.
Yeah, and now that you say that, now that I think about it, yeah, especially when Reed Shepherd is in the game, everybody else really got to key in. Like, they really got to be on their P's and Q's. Really can't gamble. He's the gambler, as a matter of fact. He'll gamble a lot. I know some people will bring up his defensive field goal percentage and the steals and all of this and that. Yeah, that's cute for fantasy basketball, bro. Like, in practicality for winning, that's not going to cut it. He gets blown by. Like, his defense, he may not be the one getting scored on, but his lack of being able to stay in front of somebody is leading to points. And that's not going to show up on a stat sheet like people like. People like to watch stat sheets and box scores and all that. That ain't going to show up on no stat sheet, man. That's not going to show up on no stat sheet.
It doesn't show up on there when you got four guys, 4 possessions, in which case the big gets a drive direct, or you're getting a guy driving directly at your big. And that's kind of a lot of what happens when you're gambling or you're not able to stay in front of guys, right? And I think he gambles a little bit too much. I mean, I know that I've seen some really good defensive possessions to start this last one. And, against Portland, I saw him played some great defense against Caleb Love. He was staying in front. He was staying sound, which, really helped. It wasn't causing any rotation. And then he gambles on something, and then it causes some rotation and leads to a wide open 3. And, like you said, it doesn't show up in the stat sheet. What shows up in the stat sheet, he had 2 steals. He's a defensive playmaker, and he made 4 points out of some of that. And that's great. And that's early year Tari stuff, right? We were praising Tari for being such a defensive playmaker and being able to get runouts, but we're also kind of dissatisfied with the way that he finished, right? He's since corrected those type of things, but I'm sure Ime is staying on him that if you want to be a good defender, you can't keep gambling. It keeps causing fouls. It keeps you in foul trouble, less aggressive, and, you just need to learn to stay in front and be a good NBA defender, and that's kind of what him and Amin has turned into.
Definitely. Now, I do think your point about having a shot blocker, man, that would definitely change some stuff. That really would. I know the trade deadline is in month and a half or so?
A little less, man. I believe we're within 28 days. Or something
I'm tripping. Like yeah, about a month. Man, that's quick. Yeah, okay. So I don't know if getting a shot blocker is in the cards. I don't know if getting a shot blocker, seeing as Ime Udoka is a defensive coach and he builds everything around his defense, I don't know if it's more important to get something like that at the trade deadline rather than another person on offense to help with the facilitating in the half court or in the full court. I don't know which one is more important. What's kind of your opinion on that?
I'm torn. A lot of what I have seen as far as the wanting to go out and get it is it seems to me is that they're really looking into the health of Fred VanVleet and whether or not he's going to return this year. I feel like they're waiting as close as they can towards the deadline, and then they're going to make a mid-level move. But I don't believe that it's anything. I think they're really heavily depending on Fred VanVleet to come back this year and do the playoffs. A lot of what I've seen in this season, it kind of looks like they're playing towards the playoffs. like they're playing their games as if they're going to be a playoff team as of now, and I wonder if they're kind of playing their cards too quick here. And I think that, the chemistry isn't coming as quick as they kind of expected. And so I think that's not leading to as many wins. And I'm afraid it will cause a little bit of a panic. But I think the health of Fred VanVleet is highly dependent on what they're going to do at the deadline. I really do.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, man. Even if Fred is healthy, I don't think there's a problem he really comes back and solves. And if he does come back and solve a problem, he creates another. If I'm being honest. And this is not me saying that we need to trade Fred. This is me saying he shouldn't have to rush back and risk further injury, number one. Number two, what is it about Ime Udoka's offense and guards that it's hard for them to get off? Like, what is it? Like, I don't understand sometimes how. Okay, let me say it like this. So I know people are gonna get mad at me for saying this. I don't care. We were told we just needed a closer. We got the closer, and nothing's changed. We actually worse closing now. We're worse in the clutch now with a closer. You can say that's because of Fred. Blah, that's cute. Yeah. Fred will create another problem. Like we would likely play even slower than we already do, and making it easier on a defense. So, and that's one of my problems with this Ime Udoka offense. It's too vanilla. It's too broccoli. It's too country corn and beans. It's too we're just gonna bully you and then that's it. It's not. There's no real thought behind how we want to get to some of these spots on the court. How we want to get shots. It's okay. So one of the things we do well, we get to the free throw line at a decent amount. We make our free throws and we don't foul too much until lately. So we don't really. So we definitely weaponize the foul line. With our 3-point shooting, we don't really properly weaponize that because we don't take enough to begin with. So if you're gonna be such a good 3-point shooting team, percentage-wise, why is it that it doesn't matter if you, number one, giving up 3-point shots and they're taking and making more than you anyway? You're not weaponizing that. So you're doing this well, but it doesn't matter because you let another team do it well too. So it doesn't matter. It's things like that I'm looking at and I'm like, this is not a point guard problem because we had a point guard last year and we didn't have the 3-point shooting problem for the opponents. We are this year for whatever reason. But these are the things that I'm looking at, and I don't know if it's necessarily a point guard thing or if it's an offensive structure thing. So I say all that to say, bro, this offense is trash. I hate to talk like that. I don't really like to be so general like that, but the damn offense is trash. I gave you examples of how it was trash. But the offense is trash, bro. The offense is trash. Okay, we got a comment that want to blame Jabari. Okay, Q. If the offensive problem is because of Jabari Smith Jr., then who is that on? Who is that really on? Jabari ain't out there trying to create offense. He ain't running point guard.
Well, and here's I'll talk about Jabari real quick here, and this is something that that I've been a very big advocate for. I want Jabari scaled down. It would be the answer for me, and so and you're right. You're absolutely right. That's on the coaching staff, correct? I think the last night issue, I'm going to put this one on Kevin Durant. The reason I say this is because if you are minus whatever your first or second option, whatever you're going to call Sengun, Kevin Durant needs to take more shots. And he's on his career. He's taking around 17 to 18 shots per game. Yet, whenever he was with a first option or he had somebody that was to be a first option, that's reasonable. That makes sense. When he's an efficient 17 to 20 shots a game, that makes sense. But when your first option or whatever you're calling Sengun is out, you need to take a few more shots. And I don't think taking 20 shots a game is in the cards for Kevin Durant. Last night, he had 30. He should have had 40. He should have taken a lot of those shots at the end of the game that Jabari was taking. He should have taken the ball and attacked in his own game. When Şengün's out, Kevin needs to step up his shots even 2 to 3 more games. Look at Jaylen Brown. Tatum's out. He stepped up about 3 more shots, and he's playing like a much better player, correct? I just need to see a little more take it at and blaming on other players, guys that aren't scheduled to be second options. You know how I see Jabari? I feel like he's a great role player.
Yeah, that's what he is.
When he's playing his role. He is not a dribble pull-up. He has not been a league average 3-point shooter. I don't want to see your dribble drive pull-up game, and I don't see you working on your handles all off season coming in with, hey, I can do a little bit more with ball handling. You can't make your threes. You can't make your open threes. So I put that on the coaching staff is the making his role known. He's always talking about KYP. Well, he needs to KYP on his own personnel. Jabari needs to stick to shooting his open shots and not try to level him up on offense. I think that you're right. You're asking him, his offense is more of a isolation scoring game, which is good for Amen when he has a spaced floor. We don't space the floor when Şengün's out there, right? And so you kind of clog it all up with Şengün's there and then expect Şengün and Amen to get off with a clogged paint. And then now we have open shooters. They're shooting a high clip and not in volume, right? So now it looks better than it is. So all that to say, you're absolutely right. When you lose a different part of that piece, it looks incredibly sloppy because you're asking another one to do more, and then you have to scale up all your role players who aren't scale upable just yet.
All right. So pretty much the offense doesn't do anybody any favors. That's one. The offense doesn't do enough to get guys shots that they're good at. It doesn't at all. And I'm going to say something about Kevin Durant, and people can disagree with me if they want. I think he plays too much to protect his efficiency. That is the one criticism I have of Kevin Durant. Anything else, I even live with the damn – some of those turnovers, too, are because of him protecting his efficiency. Like, bruh, it's okay if you're not 50, 40, 90. Go win the damn game. You don't have to be 50, 40, 90 every game, bro. It's okay not to be. I'd rather you be 43 and 43, 36, 87 if we're winning them games. I don't care about all that. See, this efficiency nerd thing has really ruined basketball for me, bro. Like, people play too much thinking about these efficiency stats. If you're losing, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, bro. It just doesn't. Now, KD, just as you said, yes, he should be taking more shots. The coaching staff should be able to scheme the defense out of these constant doubles that he gets on their right wing. It's always on the right wing because he can't pass going left. Hey, I just threw the scouting report out there. He always, when he's going, not that he can't go left, he can't pass left. When he passing left, he's passing cross court to somebody who should be cutting anyway, but they're not cutting because nobody moves on offense. That's on the coaching staff, bro. That's on the coaching staff. Like when Kevin Durant gives the ball up after a double team and somebody actually catches the ball and it's not a turnover, he should be ordered to relocate to a spot in the defense that is soft because something is soft there. There is a soft spot somewhere. The defense is starting to scramble. You can find your spot. You're Kevin Durant. You are a walking bucket getter. You can find a soft spot for you to catch the ball again if we don't score off of a 4-on-3, which we won't do because this is the Rockets. We don't score on a 4-on-3 opportunity after a blitz. Right, Golden State Warriors?
That is something that I listen, my 11-year-old son is playing in 2 rec leagues, right? And he was asking me about this one that's a little less talented. And he said, what they're doing to me is they're doubling me. And then I get it. I asked him, well, what do you think you should do? And he said, maybe get off it and get it back. And I said, exactly. And it was something very simple that he learned that in the first quarter of his next game, he learned that once he gets off the ball and gets it back and he's moving, he has space. And that's something that Kevin Durant doesn't do much and do often. That's something I very much noticed. Now, you're winning on the 4-on-3 thing. We don't have guys that are making open shots anymore. So, of course, we're not winning that type of game, right? And I think you said it last year, and it's something that we do very little of this year. If we're going to set up the 4-on-3, how about put Amen Thompson in the catch? Let him set the screen and then let him attack downhill with shooters. A lot of times, like I said before, the paint is clogged. When you have Amen and Sengun, the best thing to do is just clog the paint, and then you're able to kick out to shooters on those 4-on-3s. Early in the season, we were making shots from 3. Kogi was shooting an all-time percentage. Reed Shepherd was making his 3s. Tari Eason shooting the best percentage in the league. Jabari shooting a league average. We were winning games. Now when you do the 4-on-3 and you're kicking out to a 30% shooter in Jabari or a 30% shooter in the Kogi, we're not so much to win those games, and those pockets are a little tighter. And then Amen and Sengun are having to do a little bit more, or Kevin Durant is having to do a little bit more to get open. It's kind of an easy scheme to scheme out, right?
Yeah, man. He comes out after this game against Portland. Speaking of Ime Udoka, and he's saying he's blaming the 37-year-old. Not blaming the 37. He's saying I can't get my 37-year-old rest. Something like that. Something along those lines. I can't think straight. I was woke up.
37-year-old that couldn't. He took his 37-year-old and you were down by 11, or you're up 13 and you lost a 13-point lead. We did. They blew it.
Yeah, we did. And we took out Kevin Durant. Okay, guess what, bro? Coaching affects role players more than superstars. Superstars are going to superstar. That's what they do. Coaching affects the role players. If you can't get them to buy in, if you can't get them to look good without the superstar being on the court, if you can't get any of them to look good without your superstar being on the court, you gotta look in the mirror, Ime. And again, this is why I said in the offseason, the KD thing is going to expose whatever you're doing wrong as a coaching staff, because now you got what you want, and now you can't blame the person you shipped out. That's what we're doing. That's what's happening now. I mean, bro, if he needs an offensive coordinator, I don't know what the hell the rest of the coaching staff is doing. But if he needs an offensive coordinator, Lord have mercy, we got to find him one. You see Tiago Splitter, his former lead assistant, you see what he's doing over there in Portland with lesser players? Even look at how their role players performed when we were blitzing the hell out of Denny Avdia. Look how they performed. Look what they did. Yes, I know Toumani Camara went nuclear. I don't know how that came out, but hey, he answered the call when
well, that's all too common, right? Like it seems like that's their game plan, and that's what he says, right? He says it every time he has an interview. Ime says we're going to live with the personnel that we want taking those shots. And a lot of times that's what we come out of these games saying, oh, man, I can't believe that Caruso knocked down 8 threes. Oh, I can't believe that, what was it? Like you said, Kamara knocked down 8 threes. Najee Marshall knocked down 6. You know, there's always this role player that we're allowing to make shots. Well, this is the NBA. These guys can make these shots consistently now, or they get pulled off the floor. So I think that, yes, our defensive was looking great. It looks great when those guys aren't making those shots. But when those guys are making those shots, you see how bad it looks. And it leaves us exposed to being in games. Last year, our defense was good because it was straight up all the way around. Now we look like we're scrambling 90% of the time. And that's probably because we're trying to cover for what's weak in all the areas. There's always 2 guys on the defensive end that need help, right? And that exposes a defense Last year, we didn't have that so much. We have guys that could play straight up. We're allowing Şengün to play with a switch. Now we're not doing that as much. We're doing it on blitzes and hedges, and then he's getting back and scrambling. So we're not playing the same type of defense we played last year because we're having to cover for a lot more than we did last year.
Yeah, I do kind of see that. It's the defense is still good. It's not what it was last year though, and you would expect it to be better than it was last year with quote unquote upgraded personnel and shipping out quote unquote low IQ guys. So if again, what did I say during in the offseason, or what have I been saying? Theories will be tested. Proof of concept is on the way. Here it is. This is what happens when you have a superstar player. This is what happens. Everything gets exposed. All of your dirty laundry is going to get exposed. Whatever you can do as a coaching staff is going to get exposed because the superstar is going to look like a superstar. It's the role players. Coaching affects the role players more than anything else. The role players really are the system. And then, as good as KD is, he's not the guy you want initiating your offense all the time like this. He's just not. He's doing it out of necessity, and it shouldn't be out of necessity because why is Amen Thompson not able to do that right now at this point? Is it the offensive scheme that we're running, or is it – because think about it. I want you to think about something. I want you to imagine in your mind every time you watch a game, every time somebody is driving, why is Amen Thompson aligned in the corner? Every time, damn near, bro. You're driving yourself into a double team or into a turnover. Or into a bad shot because you're gonna kick it out to how many times does Amen Thompson catch the ball in the corner and we just know, well, this ain't gonna end well. Like, why he shouldn't be aligned that way. Like the alignment shouldn't look that way. That shouldn't be the case. I don't understand it.
I wonder if we play, and this is something that I saw in the playoffs last year. We play a very heavy ISO. That's playoff style basketball, right? Like that's why I believe we play all these close games because we play a playoff style basketball. We play a terrible regular season style, right? Like these are. It looks like a fourth quarter clutch possession on every possession with KD, right?
Yeah.
You get down. It looks like you're winning the clock down. You're up 4, and it's 2 minutes left, and you need a bucket. And that's what our offense looks like at all times. It looks like 2-minute offense up 4, right? You wane the clock all the way down to about 7. You give KD the ball at the top. You hope for something to happen quick. You pass off quick, make a shot. That's it. That's our offense. We're playing a playoff style offense in the regular season, and it just gets exposed over and over and over again when you're asking guys like KD and Amen Thompson, guys that aren't very great ball handlers, and then asking, obviously, you had Şengün to help you out there, and it's all it is. It's either Şengün, you take the ball from the top and you create a mismatch. When you create that double team, you pass out, get the open shot. If there's one extra, take it. Right? It's a very vanilla offense. Like you said, it just clogs down when you're playing in the regular season and you're either A, your role players ain't hitting shots, or B, your ball handlers aren't great at handling the ball in a consistent fashion. And that's what we have.
I got a stat for you.
Yep.
Very late shot attempts. Where do you think the Rockets rank? And very late shot clock is 4 to 0 seconds.
Second.
First.
Yeah.
With a bullet.
Yeah.
Frequency is 13.2. The next is the Clippers at 11.6.
What's our frequency or what's our percentage? How are we shooting in this?
Our percentage is
our
just about 40% field goal percentage, but effective field goal percentage is 44.8. Matter of fact, let me see where that ranks.
Yeah.
That's very mid. That's like that's mid, bro. That's
playoff
mid.
Basketball.
Yeah.
Right.
And then late shot clock. Right. Late shot clock.
Play defense.
Run the ball, play defense. 2001 Ravens.
Him and D'Amico got their own page, right?
Boy. Let's not even It's funny how the Rockets and the Texans mirror each other, right? All right. I said this last year, bro.
Hey, the Astros always rank high in defensive rating. They always play good defense the last few years. Good pitching.
Houston, Texas. There is no D in Houston or Texas, but we lead the defense. It's all good. 7 to 4 seconds in the shot clock. Where do you think we rank in frequency?
First,
11.5. Right behind us is Charlotte at 11.4.
Yeah.
Effective field goal percentage is 54.5, which is 54, which is actually good.
Mm-hmm.
But the question is, you see how many late to very late shot attempts we get in the shot clock.
Yeah.
That is to me, that is the problem, because that tells me you're depending too much on Kevin Durant and Alperen Sengun. Way too much. Why does the offense not loosen the defense up enough to where other guys are getting easier shots? Not just shots for the sake of shots, but other guys getting easier shots. Okay, this is the thing. There's no excuse for this. I'm sorry. We don't have a point guard. I don't care. When we had a point guard, we had the same problems. I don't care, bro. This is not a point guard problem. When will y'all realize this? It is not a point guard problem. When we had a point guard, we had the exact same problem.
But I think a very smart point guard, right, like a Fred VanVleet, kind of masks this a little bit, right? So that what you're getting into there is you're actually getting into sets, right? And you're low turnover. So it kind of makes your offense look a little bit better than it is, right? With your offensive rebounding. And then it's great to have them get into the sets. It's just that you're not finishing the sets as it is anyway, right? So I think a lot of what the point guard looks better in this offense because it's actually getting an offense and something going on. But when the overall goal is that their one-on-one matchup, winning that matchup is pretty much what his overall goal is, right? So we start out getting into a set with Fred VanVleet, with Sengun, and he's good at getting him ball into advantageous positions, and then he just went into one-on-one game, right? It looks better. It doesn't change the overall finishing part of it. So I agree that we could use a point guard that would get us into the sets. What we need is it for those plays to be finished appropriately by the guys that are supposed to finish them, right? Like Jabari's supposed to knock down open shots. Amen's supposed to be able to get to the paint,
Yes.
Like there's a lot of things that we're asking role players to do that we shouldn't be asking them to do, right? Like Jabari shouldn't be doing pick and roll ball screens. It just shouldn't happen. He should be the screener,
and that's
right?
Not on him.
That's right.
Exactly. He should be a screener. He doesn't screen, bro. Why? Why are we not asking him to screen?
And we're asking a guy that's 21 years old to play 41 minutes and not have what you would call a rookie wall. Like the guy really hasn't played. He's played a lot of NBA basketball, but that doesn't mean that you're conditioned to play NBA basketball for 41 minutes, bang with these big guys, especially with Sengun out. I seen him all night. If you saw, he got a couple of fouls by banging into somebody that was smaller than him. It's just like he just thought that he's going to have to really body up on some of these guys. Like Sissoko or whatever, he was going to really have to body up on him. Klingon, it just some of their guys really needed to take a body in order
Klingon
for
is nice, by the way. I like Klingon. I like Klingon a lot. I see why Udoka wanted him last year over Reed Shepherd. I see why. I mean, I understood it, but I was like, it wouldn't make sense unless you want to move Alfie to power forward. But
anyway, Alfie plays a pretty good power forward.
He actually does. He's better at power forward than at center. But is that because of Steven Adams being so good at playing center?
Well, you would have had Steven Adams here to show him how to play that type of center.
I mean, he is here. Been here for a little hot cup of coffee now.
No, I'm talking about Klingon.
Yeah. But did you want to draft?
He was your third string.
Yeah. Was he? How much was he going to play though?
How much would Reed play last year?
Oh yeah. Well, that's a different story.
Right. He don't play last year. Now, if he's now this year, we probably wouldn't go get Capella. We would probably spend our money on somebody with ball handling.
Yeah, I think
Be a little bit different.
I will never trust Ime Udoka drafting a young guard ever. I will never trust him. They just don't do well under him. They just don't. But anyway, another stat for you, bro. Early shot clock, 18 to 15 seconds. Where do the Rockets rank in frequency?
I'm gonna say bottom third.
Dead ass last.
Oh wow, even worse.
Boy, that ain't no point guard problem because we were doing the same things under Fred, bro. Like Fred ain't gonna change that. I'm sorry. Now, a different type of point guard could change that. Somebody who makes it a point to get up and down the floor at all costs after a defensive board. Yes, that would help. But who knows? Ime Udoka might tell him, no, slow it down. Don't run at all. We don't do that.
How about a scoring point guard?
A scoring point guard. Yeah. A scoring point guard, yeah. Technically, isn't that what Amen Thompson is doing right now? Technically,
Well, I'm saying more of
or someone to compliment him.
Yeah, more of a shooting, passing guard, right? Like a Reed Shepherd that could defend.
Reed Shepherd that can defend. Okay.
Does
that exist?
But you know what's funny to me? This right here. Okay, so yeah, we needed Fred VanVleet for the culture. We need James Harden right now.
Oh, yeah. I ain't look at it like that.
We need James Harden right now, right? Because the IQ of the court and how he sets up the pick and roll and how he learns that style of play, we are severely lacking. Like Şengün is not a great. He's a good at catching in the pick and roll, but he's just not a great pick and roll player.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like,
yeah.
He doesn't finish. He doesn't finish unless it's set up for him. And it's like right there. And it's a lot of times not set up for him because a lot of our point guards can't shoot or they're attacking the same way he is and getting downhill. So they're able to just back up. Right. But that playing those easy buckets that Harden would get Zubac and how he turned Zubac into, if we could get a little of that out of Şengün from somebody, I think we would have a lot more out of Şengün. We'd get a lot more out of him.
Yeah. Zubac is also a really big dude.
Şengün plays physical too.
He plays physical, but when he has to play somebody else who's physical like that, it's not.
Yeah, it's not it. Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I know somebody will be mad at me for saying that. I don't give a goddamn.
What changed me with the Zubac thing is that he wasn't a big lob threat. He wasn't a vertical spacer. But then he's still 8 with Harden, which I thought wasn't going to work. I really thought that it took a vertical player to play with Harden, and it didn't. You know, it turned out to be that you need a good defender, but you don't need a vertical lob threat. You need somebody that knows how to play in the pick and roll, and Harden can make it work. And so I feel like he would get Şengün 4 or 5 easy buckets a game that, you know, he just doesn't get right now. And I think that's what, you know, when they see point guard, that's what they're thinking about, right? Like a guy that can get some easy buckets for your teammates. We don't get that at all from Amen Thompson. Is if you can knock down a shot, you can get an easy bucket, but you're not getting a lob from Amen. You're not everything that Amen sets up is all from the shooting variety because they all have to back up from his ability to get downhill. So
he has to work hard to score too, by the way. He has to work hard to get to the paint.
That's right. And sometimes it works great. And if your shooters aren't making shots, it looks like it did last night, right? Like Amen just is pretty much worthless when you don't have guys knocking down shots.
So we saying so in that I'm gonna build off of what you just said. You need guys to knock down shots around to complement Amen Thompson's driving game, right? Why
or in the
don't
pick and roll? Like,
or in the pick and roll.
When do you see Amen running a pick and roll? Am I wrong? Did Fred VanVleet ever really get a lob to Şengün or an easy layup for Şengün? Or was it always just in the short roll and then he'd beat his man on a Euro, or he'd just get there quicker and he'd make the dunk? Like, how many lobs do we ever throw from a men? Like, how many do you see? Has Şengün ever really done that? Has he ever been a real good pick and roll finisher other than the floater?
How many lobs has Fred thrown in his career?
Not many. I mean,
I don't know, but in Houston, he has not thrown 5
no.
in his tenure in Houston. I don't remember 5. I probably remember 1 or 2. That don't mean he didn't throw 5. I just don't remember 5.
So you're saying we can't vertically space it or laterally space the floor?
I mean, sometimes I'm gonna say this too. As much as Udoka loves double big, he has to complement that at some points in the game when the time calls for it, to go 4 out, 1 in with Amen Thompson being the end, I guess. He doesn't do that. He doesn't do that enough. Why don't we try that sometimes when the personnel is right on the other team? Like when Ime Udoka is coaching on offense, bro, he coaches very reactively and not proactively. He doesn't force the team. He doesn't force the other team into adjustments. He adjusts to whatever the other team is doing. You see what I'm saying? Okay. Let me give you. This is some of the adjustments that Udoka does. Double big, zone defense, and these are adjustments he makes to not making shots. Double big, zone defense. Bring in a Kogi or a Holiday or Tate. What's another one? There was another one. There's another adjustment that he makes that ain't got nothing to do with making shots. I can't remember. With those little gimmicks that he likes, bro, like, my guy, scheme your guys open. Scheme your guys open. It's not about, I think he depends too much on physicality and bullying, because that's where he thinks. That's what he thinks. That's what he is as a human being. Like, that's what he talks about. Being physical, fighting. All of that is cool. I'm for all of that. But if you don't have the schematics to complement it, what is the point? Those are last resort things, not first resort things. Like, your adjustment isn't just get more physical. Your first adjustment is, all right, how do I make the defense pay for these double teams on Kevin Durant or on Alperen Şengün? How much does Alperen Şengün get doubled? And when teams double him, that's when the offense is great. But how can we force? He doesn't ask questions like, how can we force the defense to double Alperen Şengün more? It's just something lazy. Like, he's just a very lazy offensive mind.
It's a read and react, right? So you get the ball to a playmaker in Alperen Şengün and you space it. And what you do is you hope that Alpre is going to force that double team and make that extra pass, and that your role player is going to knock down that shot or force another extra pass that does lead to an open shot, right? That's the premise. That's the idea. It's an individual one-on-one style of basketball. It's the same thing. And I find it funny that we're always, since we've had Ime Udoka, and then there's always these names that come out. Do you notice the ones that we go for? The Donovan Mitchells, the Kevin Durant's, the ones that can literally just take over the game by themselves. You give them the basketball and they can go score, right? That's
true. We don't go. Our names aren't being tossed around if it's like
when it was Jaylen Brown. Remember, it was before they had their success. It was Jaylen Brown and it were big names. Mitchell. We'll look at Mitchell. Giannis, our name only when it's a guy that really can't score for himself and is like creating by himself and scoring by himself. We're quick to come out and say no way. That Ime is a great defensive mind. He's a great defensive coach. He's coaching a defense.
Great coach too.
Yes, he's a great coach. The problem is, you're right. His scheming is a little bit vanilla. His offensive game plan is a little bit vanilla, but it's almost like Pop had that too, in my opinion. Right? You always had somebody kind of to bail you out, kind of player. You always had a guy that was great in the one-on-one or could create a double team. The Manus of the world, the Duncans of the world. That's going to just play good, sound basketball. In other words, if they see a double team, they're going to make the smart play, make the open shot. They're going to get downhill if it's open, make the open shot, right? Like
Pop had a carousel of role players though. Like he made all his role players look good. All of them.
Exactly.
Kawhi Leonard turned into an all-time great. He was not drafted to be that.
No,
people forget.
3-and-D.
Yep.
He was supposed to be the replacement Bruce Brown or Bowen, right?
Yeah. He ended up being a Hall of Famer off of that. Like
because what he did was really he started in his role and then he scaled up from there, right? And I think that's what we're lacking right now is guys are not starting in their role and then scaling up. They're scaling up before they're ready, and they're trying to do a little bit too much. They got a little bit too much dip on their chip, and they're trying to do too much. I love Jabari. I scale him down. I'm not asking for any kind of trading.
I got no problem with that. I got no problem with that.
That's it. And I'm not finger pointing. I'm not blaming Jabari for it. Last night, like I said before, I'm blaming KD. I feel like KD is here to be the closer. The offense is set up for KD. He's trying to be KD. I don't think that's what he is yet. Like you just said, Kawhi Leonard started out as a 3-and-D role player. Start in your role, Jabari. Knock down your open jumpers. If they leave you wide open, knock them down. Have confidence in your jumper, but don't try to do too much. I really think his legs started to go. He was a lot of ball handling yesterday. Did a lot of defending yesterday, and then they're asking him to shoot late in the game. It's just not him.
He played hard, but man, the shots that he was taking was just, the side of the backboard. I can't just target him though.
I think he was really dead. He was dead, right? He's probably played 80 minutes in the past 2 days. I think he was dead tired, and he was just shooting on pure will, and it just looked really rough. I really do. I think he's asked to be too much.
Credit to him for continuing to shoot, but brother, there's better shots for you to take. To me, I don't just look at it as he's shooting the ball. I'm looking at where those shots are coming from and how those shots are being created. If the ball ain't moving and you just,
where's KD? Where is KD been? Give me the basketball. He took 20 shots last night, right? He took 26 the night before last. Shoot the bat. Give it to KD, right? Like KD
should shoot no reason sometimes, but whatever. Efficiency. All right, bro. I got a stat for you. You ready?
Yep.
You think you're ready? Where do the Rockets rank in tightly contested jumpers? That's between 2 to 4 feet of a defender. Where do the Rockets rank in frequency of those shots taken?
First.
How did you know?
Because that's our offense, man. I mean, that's what Amen does. That's what Amen's always trying to get over two people. Bari in the post, Şengün over the guys. Yeah, that's our entire offense is set up like that.
So how about very tight, 0 to 2 feet?
We play offense like we play defense, right? Like what we want to do on defense.
Damn, that's a good point.
Contested. We want to make you shoot contested jumpers, and then we shoot contested jumpers on the other end.
Which doesn't make you weaponize that defense. Nope. You can't. It's not a weapon if somebody else got the same weapon, bro. We're gonna hurt the same. And cancel each other out. Okay, fight fire with fire. It's gonna be a inferno somewhere. Somebody got to use water.
That's right.
Like, come on now, bro.
I think we're also asking high IQ or low IQ guys, and this might be because of experience now, to be high IQ players.
We're ranked third, by the way, in frequency of tightly contested, very, very tightly contested shots. Just FYI.
Good God, man. I mean, like I said, we take our same defensive strategy. We take the shots that we want to take on defense, or we want to force on defense. We take them on offense.
Yeah, we don't. Okay. If we're gonna go very tight defense, let's do wide open, right? Okay. Where do we rank in wide open shots?
28th.
Damn, you a little harsh there. We 25th, but yeah, bottom fourth. That's bad, bro. That's not for people who are having a good old time wanting to target Jabari for that. These are just attempts. These are not makes, by the way. These are just attempts. We're not generating wide open shots. We're not. And that's frequency. That's not attempts per game. That's just frequency. That's percentage of attempts of all of our attempts. That's what we do.
Well, how many high-level playmakers do we have on the team?
I give you that. That's why I'm saying but a point guard ain't gonna solve that either because the offense isn't designed to even create those. It's not.
Nope.
It's
well,
not.
There's a point guard that would save it, right? Like a Donovan Mitchell, one that can do all can score in the three levels of the floor.
I would say this. I would give you that. Donovan Mitchell creates other problems that I don't think the Rockets are ready for. Defensively, he is useless.
Right. Yeah.
He is. And that's where the Rockets eat. We eat off of defense first. Think about it. Remember what we said earlier. If you got too many guys that you got to cover for on defense, it's going to affect you. That would be a problem. I like D. Mitch, but he needs a certain type of a roster to make that work. There's a reason why Donovan Mitchell teams have a ceiling.
Long wings.
Yeah. Utah and Cleveland. Why do they always underwhelm? You can't keep blaming the team.
Yeah. I mean, what? He had generational Gobert back there playing
generational defender. And now you got Mobley and Allen, and you still got the same problem. If the stank follow you, what that mean?
Yeah. Hey, then when they're playing great defense, when Mobley and Allen are playing great defense behind you, they look great, right? He carries it.
And even when you look at how Cleveland plays defense, they depend a lot on Mobley and Allen, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Rockets offense depends a lot on Kevin Durant and Alperen Sengun. It's almost like you want players to be your deodorant as a coach. I understand that to a certain degree, but you cannot expect that to always be the case. That's a last resort thing, bro. It's a last resort thing.
Well, that's why you stick to Fred VanVleets of the world, right? And the Kevin Durant's, like the guys that literally are a bucket or a offensive, just get you a shot guy, right? Like Fred VanVleet makes your offense look like it's just a mask, right? It just makes it look like you can do something and then you can get a shot, right? Like it doesn't look like, in other words, if you dribble the ball out to Fred VanVleet, he can orchestrate an offense, right? And whether or not that's a great offense or not, that's kind of not up to him. But he likes somebody that, hey, listen, hey, Fred, you just go figure it out, right? Like if you need to get into the pick and roll game, then you do the pick and roll game. He wants a Tom Brady quarterback on a generational defense, right?
Bro,
just wants a quarterback.
I'm glad you used that analogy because you used the greatest quarterback of all time.
Yeah.
Because all them championships that they won, all them Super Bowls they won, the defense wasn't that good. They just didn't give up a lot of points because Tom Brady knew that his defense wasn't all that great. So he kept time of possession.
He'd run the ball. He'd know where to run it.
Yeah, he'd audible a lot of certain stuff. Like he always knew what the defense was trying to do. So he's like, all right, cool. I'm gonna take this, but I'm gonna take something else a little bit later. We're
beat you whatever you want.
But we're gonna win this time of possession because we're not trying to have our defense out there, giving up bombs so easily.
Now, who did that? The on-play quarterback, not McDaniels. It didn't matter who your offensive coordinator was.
Bill O'Brien, didn't matter.
It didn't matter. They just, Tom Brady, you go win the game, right? And that's what Ime is looking to do even now, right? And that's what we've been talking about this whole time. It looks like a playoff defense is because that's kind of how the playoffs are. Hey, I need you to go get me a bucket. It's going to be tight. It's going to be highly contested. Just go save me as a quarterback or as a coach. Go save me, right? What do they?
And there's a
ask
time for that. If it's a big
That's
game,
the offense. So.
you know, exactly. And that happens from time to time, but that can't be every game. We're not always gonna play the Brooklyn Nets, bro. We're not always gonna play the Charlotte Hornets. You know what I mean? Like
you got to have like, okay, so like, do you think that Mike Malone's a generational offensive coach?
Generational, no, but he is damn competent. I don't know about. I can't say generational. When I think generational, I'm thinking Mike D'Antoni, Steve Kerr. I'm thinking those kind of guys. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
Somebody else too. I can't think of.
Okay.
Phil Jackson.
Okay. Well, what about Adelman having a better offense?
Adelman was another generational offensive coach. Oh,
well,
what's his name? David Adelman. Whoo, I like him.
He's a good coach. Okay, so
I thought he was the offensive coordinator actually for Mike Malone. I believe that. Obviously I'm not over there in Denver. I can't say for sure, but because they run a lot of what Sacramento used to run. Those early 2000 Sacramento Kings. They run a lot of the same stuff, except more modernized. And obviously with Joker instead of Vlade Divac or what's his name? What am I forgetting this tall dude? The other 7-foot guy. Oh, Chris Webber too, but the other guy, Brad Miller. Yeah. So yeah, what's his name? David Adelman is a damn good offensive coach. I watch how they run their offense. I'm like, this is beautiful, bro. We could use that in Houston, seeing as we want to make all of these Jokic comparisons that I don't agree with Alperen Sengun.
Well, but my point is that I don't think that Mike Malone is setting up a lot of plays. I think he looks very good because he has Jokic as his quarterback, right? Like, and I think that's kind of what Ime gets when he has Sengun out there. He doesn't get the Jokic level of it, but he kind of makes it. He masks his offensive sets not being so bad, right?
Yeah,
like
he developed Jokic though,
right?
He scaled him up, like you said. Started his role first, and he ended up scaling up.
Starting his role first. Now we're looking to do Sengun. He's not at that level, but he makes our offense look competent. And then when he's not making it look competent, Kevin Durant's making it look competent. And so he's got an individual player that is kind of saving him most of the game. And if you're going to play a Royce O'Neal's and such like that, they're going to get up in your business and be able to stop that one-on-one, then our offense looks extremely rough, right? There's no other, and like you said, other than a guy that's going to break you down and get to the paint and can score on 3 levels and play make, a point guard's not fixing that.
No. It's, again, not a point guard issue. Last thing here I wanted to touch on, bro. Hey, man. E-Rockets are boring as hell to watch, bro.
Oh, my God.
I'm sorry. Dude, I find myself like sometimes there's moments I'm watching the game and it's really just background noise. I'm doing something else. Like, these dudes are boring. It's too predictable. Okay, the NBA right now in general is sort of predictable. A lot of guys kind of play the same way. But we just it's especially when they're not on, bro. Even when they're on, they're still boring. But bro, this is like some Detroit Pistons from 2004 and early 2000s San Antonio Spurs, bro. It's just boring, dog. Like, where's the excitement, bro? If you're gonna lose to bad teams, lose excitingly, bro. You go to a game, bro. You go to a game. I went to the Rockets. They went to the Clippers game when they were in Houston. When forgot who the best player in the game was. But went to the Clippers game, and I was like, bro, this is boring. The crowd wasn't even crowding. Like the crowd from last season, even when you go to games last season, crowd was a lot more into it last year. This year is just everybody's just expecting Kevin Durant to go do something. And then that's it. Like, we can't be Kevin Durant or bust. We can't be Alperen Sengun or bust. That's kind of what it's been boiled down to. And I think that's kind of, like you said, with Ime Udoka looking for his Tom Brady, now you've watered down the entire offense. You've made the entire offense predictable. Everybody knows what's coming, and so does the defense. If the crowd knows what's happening, you know the defense knows what's happening, and they know how to stop it. And it's not going to look good in a way, and there's nobody to make anything else happen otherwise off script. It's just boring, bro. Like, there's no highlight plays like that. Bro, how many times have you been on Sports Center? I don't even watch ESPN like that no more. But I don't see like after a game, there's like some highlights of the game, like exciting highlights of a game, bro. Like, we don't even get like those on Twitter or on TikTok no more, bro. Like, damn.
Well, that would be a product of where did you enjoy watching the early 2000 Baltimore Ravens?
Defensively, yeah. Offensively, that was AIDS.
Okay.
My
and
goodness. Trent
and
Dilfer?
Yeah. Now, wasn't it isn't it sometimes more exciting to watch our defense with the really and truly with the Reed Shepherds, the Amen Thompson, and Tari. Put those three out there. They're defensive playmakers. And if we had a rim protector, it'd be even better. But when he's protecting the rim,
when he's on last night, he was on defensively last night. I give him credit for that. Yeah.
And a great weak side protector, at times. And let's
Adam sometimes too.
Yeah. But when those defensive guys are locked in and the Terror Twins are out and they're flying around, running around, creating havoc, and then it's creating other stuff. It's leading to runouts and stuff like that. The defense is more exciting to watch than the offense.
Yeah.
And that's why I bring up the old Baltimore Ravens team. And I think that what did they like to do? Jamal, downhill, hand it off right up the middle.
He was a different beast.
And you had a guy that could just run the ball, run the clock. What we were talking about for most of this show, there were late shot clock, contested jumpers. You just run the ball, slow the clock. It's weird to me that teams are ever able to score over 110, especially now they're hearing those stats about how late we take in the shot clock or most of our shots, and how that's just kind of mucking up the game and playing in mud and playing slow. And then when we get an offensive rebound, it seems like we just kick it back out, set up the same type of individual stuff.
And we depend too much on offensive rebounds too.
It's boring. That is a boring style. It's a muck it up style. It's a, hey guys, we're not good enough making shots. We're going to have to generate stuff from nothing.
It's like the Derrick Rose Chicago Bulls. The exact same.
Good point. With Noah trying
Except they were more exciting. They were more exciting on offense, though. I ain't gonna lie. Derrick Rose. I mean, need I say more?
Well, we only have like a really, and I think Şengün's toned down with some of the, exciting passes and stuff like that. I think that we've had such an emphasis on not turning the ball over that it kind of gets these guys a little bit toned down and the ability to run.
I think they overthink too much too. I think everybody on offense thinks too much.
Well, does it seem like to you that everybody is told, like to me, Amen seems like he's getting, all right, listen to me. You get the first 5 seconds. If you get the rebound, take off running, see if you can get something. If you cannot, back it out and give it to Kevin Durant and then get to your spot. Like that's his only job. That's the only thing he'll ever do. Go to the corner and then cut when you see an open spot. Other than that, that's the offense, right? And then the same thing with Bari. It's like he's hesitant to really do something too much, and then when he can't do anything, he's immediately looking up for Kevin Durant.
Yeah, and he gets in his own damn head, bro. Exactly. You in the NBA, bro. You just got paid, bro. Get out your head. You ain't get paid acting like that. That's not what got you paid, bro. That's not what got you paid.
I do think they're a little starstruck.
Yes. Hey, that is a very elite point, bro. I can't remember somebody else I think I heard say the same thing. That's a good point. Because all right, you always want to get the ball back to KD, man, but at the same time, I think the offense is that. Just get the ball back to KD. Because guess who else is starstruck? Ime Udoka. And for the record, this is not me. There's nowhere where you can find me saying I want to get rid of Ime Udoka. I don't want to. I want to do it with him. Okay?
Yeah.
I just want him to get better because it's not like he can't get better. he does better things, but he waits too long to do those better things, bro. Again, reactive, not proactive. He's too scared to take chances offensively. He doesn't take any chances offensively. He's too scared.
I feel like he's mitigating the damage, right? Like I think, and I'm going to take this back to my son's rec team, is that our defense is so elite, right? Like we have such a good defense. So I'm kind of finding myself coaching up the defense and being like, hey guys, you know what you never hear? You never hear of a team shutting out a team. Why? Because I want our defense to just completely be dominant, because I know that our offense isn't going to be great. So I know that I'm going to have to rely on one kid sometimes to pretty much do a bunch of stuff. So I'm going to coach the defense up as hard as I possibly can. And then on offense, I'm going to try to make it where they don't mess up, right? Guys, look here. No live ball turnovers. Make sure that we're just setting normal screens, see all your passes, don't throw up some crazy stuff, and we'll just work it around until we find an open shot. Really and truly, I'm not going to do a whole lot of passing. Why? Because that's a lead for a turnover. I think we're looking at that the same way. He's looking at him saying, guys, look, we got Kevin Durant, generational one-on-one scorer. There's no better shot than a KD contested jumper. Let's just get to it. Now, I'll let you kind of play with it a little bit in the first 15 seconds of the shot clock, and then they're not smart enough or high level enough to create their own stuff, right? Like how many times do you see Jabari setting a flare screen and then peeling out and for an open jumper?
Like,
you know, how many say you see
screens?
Yeah, there's nothing really going on. And you see it. You see it every now and again. I can name the first 10 games we were running some split action. We've seen it a little bit last year, but it seems like he's just a young coach trying to – it's almost like he's like, hey, we need to go to something else. He just goes to his bread and butter. Right?
Yeah, so that's the thing. Like when we started the season, we started off with a completely different process. The ball was moving a lot more than it ever has under Ime Udoka. And I think he just has a problem where, okay, it didn't work for a couple of games. We're going to scrap everything. We're just going to go back to basics, back to beans and broccoli.
Yeah.
Like, bro, you can't coach like that. You got to stick with it, bro. Like you got your plan. This is the new setup that we got. You know, let's play it through. Let's see it all the way through. Like, don't start halfway. Imagine you sit there and you making, let's say you barbecuing, you grill. Tell me you grill, bro.
Oh, yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah, baby.
Now imagine you start grilling something and the coloring isn't what you wanted to be at the first hour of it being smoked. The color of the steak or the color of the chicken or whatever the hell you grilling. The color don't look what you want. Even though you know down the line after the next couple of hours, if you smoking something for a long time, if you smoking some ribs, when it's ready to pull off, you know what it's supposed to look like.
Yep.
Udoka pulling that thing off when the blood's still coming out.
Try something. Go back to it out. No.
Like, bro, come on now. Like Udoka gotta stick with. He doesn't have. Like he goes back to his safe space a little bit too easily.
Yeah.
Too easily, man. Like, and he can get coached out of what he wants to do too easily.
Mm-hmm.
Not out of what he wants to do. He gets coached out of trying something too easily. Let's go to the playoffs. Remember the time when he took out Steven Adams because they was doing the Hacker Adams?
Didn't need to.
And he didn't have to do that, but he got scared. Like, you can't be a chicken, bro. You can't coach like a chicken on offense. Like, how you got all of these big balls on defense? You big Mr. Tough guy on defense, but on offense, you a little baby chicken. Harmless. Like, you can let them get you out of what you wanted to do like that easily? All right, bro. Steve Kerr coach circles around that man. They sat there, they blitzed the hell out of Jalen Green. All series, you didn't do anything to get them up out of that. You just whatever. All right, come on, bro. Like, no. And that's the thing, man. I think that's part of what makes the offense boring, too. That's what makes the team boring, bro. Like, we're seeing the same thing that ain't working. It ain't even like that's working. It's just safer.
Yeah.
What's the point of being safer if that don't work either?
Well, it's just to me is that if you're going to go to that, if that's going to be the offense, right? Like, hey, somebody save you in the one-on-one situation, pretty much get to a good spot and knock down your jumper, Kevin Durant, right? Then why is he only taking 20 of them?
Because he protected his efficiency. This is the only criticism you're gonna see me have of Kevin Durant. I'll live with the turnovers. I absolutely would live with them. Turnovers are not good, but I just don't think it's the end of the world, especially if you're trying something. I'll live with it. But if you're playing the game because you're trying to be efficient, to me, that's you playing the game with the wrong spirit. You're playing for the stat sheet, bro. We don't do that. You play to win. What Herman would say, you play to win the game, not the tie. You're not playing for anything else but to win the damn game, bro. Just win. Just stop shooting, thinking about whatever history that you're trying to accomplish. It's gonna come when it comes. Hell, you made history last night. You passed Will Chamberlain, an all-time scoring list. Congratulations to Kevin Durant, by the way. Oh, yes. Another little thing too that happened last night. What's the name got hurt? Tari Eason, sprained ankle. Not taking that contract is starting to really not look good for him.
It's really just lost another. They just lost another team with a lot of cap space in Washington.
Oh yeah, we saw what they did. Yeah, what's your quick thoughts on that Trae Young trade?
Hey man, I mean they're going to put butts in the seats with Trae, right? I don't know that Young, they started to play a little bit better over there. I don't know if they're trying to play that much better, but I think they'll sit him. I think he'll just be like Ingram last year. I think that quad contusion will get a little bit worse, and they're going to sit him. And they probably offered him to pick the Fred VanVleet type of deal, opt into one more, and then take something different. But they got to pay that cap floor. And they're going to have to pay it somewhere. And, restricted free agency is such a gamble. You go put a bunch of money on Tari Eason. You're stuck with him for 4 years and he doesn't quite pan out. That hurts worse in 4 years than it did, just taking a guy in for 1 year and raising that the floor a little bit and then still paying your cap floor. So I think they're just trying to put butts in the seats. They're trying to use Trae Young, try to up his, value, maybe get off of him in a future deal. I don't think it really has any benefit of the league. Interesting to see what the Hawks do with McCollum, because I guess he could be helpful to them. But
very much so, I think. Yeah, I think it's a win-win for both teams. Actually, they both, I think, got what they wanted out of it. I know people wanted the Hawks to get a whole bunch of draft picks. I mean, because San Antonio has their draft picks. So they're looking for them to get some type of a James Harden type deal. That wasn't gonna happen. This is a different cap environment. It's a different market now, man. Like only certain guys are going for multiple first rounders. Only if you're not an all NBA first team, you probably not having. That's probably not happening. But I think for the Wizards, yeah,
the NBA talent right now is just such high level, man. I mean, we take it for granted every day. I mean, these guys, you can lose on any game. I don't care who you are. These guys can put up some real points. Yeah. I just, to me, the NBA has gotten a whole lot more talented and it's a lot deeper. There's guys that are 14th men on some of these teams that could score on you all day. You see what Jada Pickett did the other night for Denver. When these guys get opportunity, they're seeing that they can really perform in it. So I don't think that, I think we take it for granted that the NBA's talent is it's a high level game. And there's a lot of good athletes out there. And you never know what you could get. Somebody could drop 40 on you any day. I saw Avia do the other day.
I mean, Toumani Camara put 25 on us tonight.
He's a good player.
Last night. No, he's a good player, but he's more in the Tari Eason mode where you're not really expecting like explosive offensive games like that. Not that 25 was explosive, but it is for him.
It certainly felt like it, right? Like he felt
like 30.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah, like Camara, he was making everything. I like him. I like his game though. I like what Portland is doing. Actually, bro, I like what they're doing overall. Hopefully Scoot Henderson could get healthy. Hopefully, Drew Holiday can get healthy over there.
See what I
like,
mean?
Yeah,
Like,
like
they were
look,
without.
who's not even playing.
Yeah,
what I
man,
mean?
that's a deep team. Jeremy Grant plays for them too, don't he?
Yeah, he's hurt. Yeah, he's hurt too.
And
Yeah,
Dame plays for them.
Yeah,
Dame will be back
for the
next year.
season. Yeah. So I mean, they got options, bro. Like things are looking up for Portland, man. And imagine these
Washington's
guys
good,
healthy
too.
with Avia. Washington, I like Trey Johnson. That man, I
He
would have
can
loved to
shoot.
have drafted him. I would have loved to have drafted him.
He
Boy.
can
I
shoot.
would have loved to have had him. But whatever.
Hey, and Sarr.
Alex Sarr coming out. He having a blast, boy.
Let me ask you a question. Sarr for Jabari, who would say no?
Wizards. Yeah, Wizards.
I was thinking about that the other day. I know, man, that hurt. I thought about that yesterday, and I was thinking, man, that's probably the Wizards are probably saying no to that, ain't they?
Yeah, Sarr kind of struggles a little bit with physicality. The way Bari used to.
Yeah,
I think Sarr when he started eating right, getting a good diet, playing workout regimen in the offseason, I think that's not going to be a problem in the long run.
but he's starting to block shots. He's starting to defend at the rim.
Yeah, he started to look like he should have went number 1 overall. And I was a guy that was I like Zachary Ricochet. Number 1 overall, I didn't know, but I like Ricochet. I think he probably would be better off somewhere else. I thought he should have been in the Trae Young deal too. I thought he would probably flourish over there with Washington a little bit more with less expectation and be able to play more free and play his type of a role over there in Washington. Cam Whitmore, by the way, prayers to him. Hopefully he gets good with his with that blood clot.
Sure.
Hopefully he gets healthy. Who else is watching over there? I like what's that kid's name? The point guard, Bub Carrington. I like him
shooting over 40 from 3.
Yeah, I like what they're doing, man. Like Washington has talent. The problem is they're the Wizards. That's their problem. If they were a different team, they'd probably be better. But when you're the Wizards, you're cursed.
East is there for the taking too, and they're still that.
It is there for the taking, boy. And hey, this may sound crazy. If I'm anybody, bro, I'm not sleeping on Boston still, even without Tatum.
Ooh. They look good.
You see what Joe Mazzulla doing over there with them boys? Not making no damn excuses, making adjustments. You see how they
Role
work?
players still playing their roles. Nobody's really stepping out of their box, right? Everybody's shooting, just picking up their shots. Jaylen Brown picked up his shots, 4 shots. So what I'm asking KT to
do more of what you're doing.
That's it.
Not
that's all they do.
Other stuff. Yeah, like that's
Pritchard's
what
still
scaling
shooting
up
his
is.
shots. There's not asking him to do more. Or ask him to handle the ball more or anything like that. Stop that. Knock down your shots. That's it. Play in your role.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't really understand the difference when they think of being scaled up. They're thinking adding different features to your game. Mm-hmm. Although that's not a bad thing if you can do it.
If you're already starring in your role like that, that's what I was talking about the other day. Is that really frustrated me is that Bari isn't knocking down an average from. He's not shooting even league average from 2. He's not shooting.
He was at some point, and then he's been up and down. I think here's another thing that I think people are like kind of sleeping on. You see how much weight he added?
Yeah.
You see how much strength he added? That's gonna mess with your shot. It's gonna mess with your shot. That's gonna mess especially your legs.
That's what's getting to me. That's what's frustrating me. Is it seemed like all off season it was this handle, and he's coming back with this new handle, and he's going to be able to create for himself, and he's going to have more of a.
I didn't see that. I didn't see that. I just thought
I've seen a lot
being able to attack a closeout. That's all I ever said. Be able to attack a damn closeout. There's some stuff that he's been doing this year that he wasn't doing before.
But and again, that's what I'm.
And he's finishing better. He's finishing better in the paint too.
All that stuff that's my point.
That's what he's. But why isn't he in position to do it more? That's the question.
Well, he's not doing. He wasn't, in my opinion, wasn't starring in his role at that point. So in this offseason, great attack a closeout, get better at that. He got tremendously better with his ball handling. I'm asking for just a little bit better on the ball handling.
You're getting too happy though. You're getting too ball happy.
Yeah,
Too
now
dribble happy.
shoot the rock all off season. Now why don't you just start by getting to be a 40% 3-point shooter first before you add all that extra into your game? And now they're asking him to do all the extra and still shoot 40 from 3, and he's not there.
My
Right?
point about adding all that strength is, have you ever gone to go shoot the ball after lifting weights, especially upper body?
Legs are dead.
Right. His shot, remember he had the same problem last year too, until he got hurt. When he, like that January, he was looking really good and he broke his hand. But he was looking like, he was looking like we needed him to look.
Yep.
It'll come back around. It's just gonna take some time because he added a lot of strength this summer. Like last year, Barry, to this year, they look different. They look different, bro. So as far as his shooting, to me, that's the problem with him right now. It's the shooting is too damn inconsistent. It's way too, but I think it's a strength thing. I don't because his shot is a lot flatter this season than it ever has been. It's very flat. That's what happens when you too damn strong. You shoot the ball flat, and he's not used to that. So once he adjusts to his strength, hell, he might even have a whole down season of shooting, but it'll come back around. It'll come back around. I think his physical size right now, I think this is good for him. He don't need to do any more extra, especially if he's not going to be playing as much center, which I thought he probably would do a little bit more of this season. But whatever.
Would you check in on Robert Williams?
Yeah. I need a shot blocker, bro. I need a shot blocker. Oh, Barry had a nice vertical block, two-hand. I said defense last night. Like I said, he was on defensively last night. It's the shooting that's kind of making it look bad. But yeah, I need a shot blocker, bro. I need a shot blocker. If I'm trading for anything, I'm trading for like pieces that complement the defense more than the offense because I don't trust Ime Udoka to make those changes on offense. No way. I really don't. I don't trust it at all. Even if you go get another shooter, he ain't gonna be as good a shooter. Not in this offense. Not when he gets the ball.
Athlete.
I would take that. Somebody who just don't give a damn and just gonna run up and down the floor.
Yep.
I ain't gonna lie. Another Tari Eason type of a guy.
I'm thinking more along the lines of a guard.
Yeah, type of guy. It could be a guard. Yeah, it could be a guard. I don't know who that would be, but
Jalen Green.
Oh.
No, but somebody that's a little quicker, is somebody that's willing to run and is going to play pretty sound with Grimes type.
The running part, I think, is the biggest one to me, man.
Derek Jones.
Man, nah, I wouldn't.
No.
We desperately need someone to compliment Amen Thompson. I've been feeling so bad for him sometimes, and he still be making something happen.
That's what I mean. I want an athlete, somebody that's quick. Colin Sexton, somebody like that.
I can do that. I can look at that. But what are you giving up?
You don't want to ask me those questions, man.
That's cool. If you don't want to answer, hey, I respect it. You just know what you want. You don't know what you want to give up, but you do what you want. Hey, that's
well,
it's halfway there.
That. You know where I am. I don't think you can win. I don't think we're going to be able to win with Reed Shepherd as our backup guard. I don't.
Not this season. But here's the thing. #COB. Y'all understand? I hope y'all are starting to see why I was saying championship or bust. Because, when I say championship or bust, I'm talking the Kevin Durant era. As long as he's in Houston, it is championship or bust. This first season is a season where we need to do it more than any other because it's not going to get easier from here. Remember when he went to Brooklyn? Thank you very much. Anything can happen. Now, I'm not saying we're not going to do it this year. I ain't saying we are going to do it this year. I'm just saying that it's most important for us to do it this year because if not, this offseason, there will be some decisions that need to get made, and they're not going to look pretty because now you can't justify certain things that you may end up doing if you don't win. Like it's if you win, you can justify just bringing the whole band back together.
Yep.
But if not, you putting Stone in a position where he's not good at. You're gonna force him to make some decisions that he's not good. He's not the best trader in the world. He's not the best trader in the world. Getting back good stuff for the coach. that the coach will use and can use properly. I don't know if we want to be in that position. And then Wemby is coming. OKC is still there. Denver ain't going nowhere. Like, you don't know who else can come out of nowhere. So
we'll see we'll see. I wonder if they'll try to get back into this draft. I wonder if they'll try to get under the apron and get out of the repeater. There's a lot that I think that they're looking into right now, if I had to guess.
all right. I would hope so, man. Any final thoughts?
No, let's see how they fare the next 15, 20 games. Let's see till the All-Star break. Let's see what they look like. I think we're okay. It's a lot better than we're making it out. You know me, I don't like this 3 to 5 game stuff and start making judgments on people.
Yeah.
I like to let it play out. I really do believe we're playing kind of like a playoff style, and we're playing for the playoffs. I think this will benefit us late in the year, and this will benefit us in the playoffs, being able to play in tight games. We'll have plenty of experience in doing it, whether it's versus up teams or playing down to teams. I think we're in a lot better shape than people are thinking. I think we're playing like we're an old fading dynasty like Golden State, rather than play like a young team. I think we're trying to play. It's a long season, and these ups and downs, I think we're getting valuable experience in them, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely agree with you on that. Right now, the Rockets are we are 6th in the West. However, net rating wise, we're 2nd in the league. So we are playing. Our record doesn't necessarily state who we really truly are right now at this point. I think we're better than what the record says because of some situational basketball type of stuff. Being the clutch being the main thing. This being in the clutch. If we just forget about everything else, like the offense, how boring it is, and all that. If you just look at the clutch, we're horrific in the clutch. Matter of fact, let me look that up real quick. So in the clutch, so we've played, how many clutch games have we played? We have played 18 clutch games. We have a losing record in the clutch. We're 7-11 in games that are considered clutch. I forgot how they measure it. And our net rating we're 24th in net rating in the clutch. That's kind of where we're losing. That's why our record is looking the way that it is, because otherwise our net rating overall outside of the clutch is good. It's really good. It's elite, as a matter of fact.
I think this team on paper complements each other. Like,
you're late.
I know. I didn't know.
Late.
I was busy, bro. I'm just getting back home, really, actually, from a game.
No problem. No problem, bro. Chris, go ahead and finish your point. We're gonna get to Dante.
What I think is just like on paper, if you look at this, we really haven't had a chance to really sit down and get a real good look at with this team with chemistry, right? Nobody's played in a 10-game span together. Yeah, we haven't had a healthy Tari, healthy Şengün, a healthy DFS. I think healthy DFS helps Bari a lot. I think a healthy Şengün obviously helps a lot of people.
Helps everybody.
And I think a healthy Tari helps Amin tremendously. And I think, healthy Adams helps kind of a healthy Şengün makes Adams be able to play in that second unit with Reed and Jabari. That kind of frees him up a little bit, allows him to get some more open shots.
The rotation makes more sense, pretty much.
The rotation makes more sense. Everybody kind of fits in and finds their location a lot easier instead of having to kind of mix matches thing and trying to figure it out on the fly and then not get any real chemistry together. So let this team boil a little bit, let them cook up a little bit, let Katie kind of get used to playing with this group. And you start seeing where he gets his spots and when Şengün can kind of pick up the slack for the playmaking, stuff like that. I really think towards the latter end of the season, it always takes playing your best basketball to win a title at the end of the year. So we have an opportunity to play our best basketball. And we've seen some of that best basketball be really, really effective, especially on the offensive end. We know we can play good defense, especially when we have all our guys. So once we put it all together and it cooks up in the right place, I think we have something really, really brewing here. That'd be my final thought.
Yeah. Coach Dante, what you got on the Rockets so far with the standings? What's your thoughts after the first 35 games?
Well, one thing I'm not looking like I'm looking at the standings, but again, I'm not that concerned about the standings because we already knew how the standings was going to be really anyway. You already know you got the Western Conference got a lot of very good teams in the Western Conference. So this shouldn't be no surprise to anyone. You knew San Antonio was going to be better. You just didn't know how good they were. You just didn't know they were going to be good. You already knew Minnesota was going to be good. You had some sense that LeBron and the Lakers would be good. You know, OKC, even though they've been struggling, you knew they would be they would be probably the top 10 in the West. You didn't know Phoenix was going to be this type of good. You didn't know that. You didn't know that, but they're actually solid. They're actually solid. Utah Jazz, you know, they just a scrappy basketball team. They're a scrappy basketball team. So, you know, it doesn't shock you on how good these teams are. It doesn't really shock you. But I know looking at the 6th seed that we were in currently, you'll say, yeah, it's kind of shocking that we shouldn't be there. But again, at the end of the day, we all knew we have a juggernaut every single night, especially with the West. We already know that. But my problem is for last night, what I seen, it was disappointing for the last 2 nights. And again, Jabari having the same struggles that he had at the beginning of last year. What was that? Shooting. And then he's missing open. He's missing open shots. So then the only thing I question, why keep him in the game that long? And I mean, I know you didn't want to go to DFS. I know you didn't want to go to him because he's been struggling too. He's actually been struggling shooting the 3-ball too. So Kogi came in, gave you some good minutes immediately right out the rip. Aaron Holiday, he been struggling shooting, so then he's pretty much undersized, pretty much. So you didn't want to use him too much. But Jabari Smith Jr., I mean, for him to not take the lid out the basket the last 2 games and us relying on too much Kevin Durant when we need a big shot. We need the other guys to step up and make shots, and it just didn't happen against Portland. And Portland, again, they're a scrappy basketball team. They're a very good coach. Tiago Splitter's done a hell of a job, and we talked about that. AK, we don't come in. And we have all these mistakes, all these turnovers. We don't shoot well. We can lose these games to Portland. And that's exactly what we did. So bad shooting. Danny Amia didn't kill us last night, but he hurt us the first game pretty much. You got Kamara now making threes wide open. Y'all just give credit to Portland. They executed and we just didn't. They made shots early in the 4th quarter and we just fell out the face of the earth in the 4th quarter. So then it don't hurt again, like Chris said. I mean, you got LP out. You got LP start. Let's get Tyrese. Let's get this right for Tyrese. He's not going to be healthy. He's not going to be healthy for us. We can't expect him to play a full season or 70 games. I can no longer expect that no more. He's gonna have health issues, and that's pretty much the reason why he hasn't gotten paid. Because again, he's gonna be hurt. So now, as Rockets fans, we got to look at that and say this man ain't gonna be able to play a full season. This man is not going to really be healthy. So I didn't came to the senses of that. But the last night when he got hurt going to the baseline, I got a sense of that. Yep, he's not going to be healthy. You can't count on him to be on the court for us like that. But other than that, it does help when you don't have all the DFS. I'm still giving him a little bit more time because again, he did come off a leg injury. Surgery, yeah, like surgery, leg injury. Yeah, he did come off of that. So I'm still giving him a little bit more time, not out on him, but he's struggling to shoot the ball. A lot. So yeah, other than that, like I say, I already know how the West was coming into this season. We all knew it. So no chop.
So check this out. We lost the 4th quarter last night by 19 points.
19 points. Yep.
We are not good in close games, bro. I just said it. We 7-11 in clutch games, bro. Matter of fact, we're going to do a quick exercise. We're going to play a game. I'm going to say a stat. You tell me where you think the Rockets rank in the clutch. Turnover percentage. Top third, second third, lower third. What you got? Chris, let's start with you. What you got?
Top third.
Okay. Coach, what you got?
I'm going to say lower, a little bit lower third.
Lower third. We 22nd. All right, cool. Let's do offensive rating. Where do the Rockets rank in offensive rating in the clutch?
We're at the bottom.
They're at the bottom.
We're 20th. So that's
better than I thought.
Yep. We're 20th in offensive rating in the clutch. All right, cool. No problem. Let's do defense. Where do the Rockets rank in defensive rating in the clutch?
Bottom third.
I'm gonna say lower, a little bit mid. I'm gonna say mid.
We 24th.
All right, that's like that's a light bottom. That's bottom. Yeah, that's like in the bottom area.
All right, cool. Assist to turnover ratio. Where do the Rockets rank in the clutch?
Bottom. I'm gonna say bottom.
Okay.
Mid.
Okay. We are very mid. We're 18. All right, cool. Let's do rebound percentage. Where do the Rockets rank in rebound percentage in the clutch?
I just gotta say that last one doesn't match my eye test.
Yeah. We're a weird team, dog. We're a weird team.
As
We're a
much
weird
offensive
team.
one-on-one stuff we do, we passing in mid clutch.
Yeah, it's weird, bro. We don't make any sense. But rebound percentage, where we rank in the clutch?
First,
I'm gonna say we up in the mid area in rebound.
We actually second, bro. Good, which
Right.
which is good, which is on point, which is on pace with where we have been. And that's kind of the point that I wanted to point out to y'all. The one thing we do consistently is rebound. Everything else is up in the air because why? What is it about the rest of the game and the clutch where what you were good at, you're not so good at anymore in the clutch? But you know what I'm saying? Like besides rebound is the only thing that we're really still good at in the clutch. All right, let's do true shooting percentage. What's the true shooting percentage in the clutch?
mid. 18
I'm
20.
gonna say bottom.
We're 24th.
Bottom third.
Everything outside of rebounding falls off for us in the clutch. Now, I keep emphasizing this. Do we still keep looking at the players and the players only? If the numbers are what they are outside of the clutch and they fall off a cliff in the clutch, are we still looking at the players? Or is there something wrong with the process?
I wonder how much of that has to do with your answer is process, right? Like that, if you constantly are doing the same thing over and over and you're not changing anything, it's obviously the process is not correct. But I wonder how much of that has to do with overuse.
Which is
You're
part of the
asking
process.
Bari,
Rotations.
you're asking Bari to do a lot of rebounding, a lot of, beating and banging. Yeah, he got bigger, but then asking him to play 41 minutes and shoot that many times, that's probably a lot of a load on him, right? Kevin Durant only shoots 20 times in last night's game. Got to be more than that in the clutch, right? You got Bari shooting those shots. Take 2 or 4 of them need to go off to Kevin at least.
I just look at the way defenses are playing Kevin Durant though. So they literally Portland was literally playing a zone defense, and the goal was to make everybody else shoot. Don't let Kevin Durant beat us. And if you're Jabari Smith, I'm gonna put it on Ime Udoka too because he had no business being in the game. If you know he couldn't make a shot. He started out with 11 points. Then in the fourth quarter, he just self-destructs in the fourth quarter. While Kobe,
who are you going to go to? Do you have to ask
that's another theory I went to.
Tari's out.
That's another theory that I actually went with that I first said when I came on. I understand why you couldn't take out Bari because you didn't have nobody else you could go to because Finney Smith's struggling to shoot the ball at the same time.
Tari hurt.
You're not gonna throw Aaron Holiday in now. But then
what about Tate?
Huh? You damn sure ain't throwing no Tate up in now. You damn sure ain't throwing him up in now. So that he wasn't even the thing I'm thinking about. But other than that, I mean, they were literally stacking their defense to stop Kevin Durant. They really still couldn't stop him. But again, he's making the right play. And Jabari just
go back and get it.
Yeah.
He's got to go back and get the ball.
It's several times. It's several
20
times.
shots isn't enough, man.
Yeah.
You can't be taking 20 shots and then you have Jabari go 0 for 9 in the fourth quarter. You can't tell me that some of those shots.
Bari ain't got no business taking 9 shots in the.
He don't got no business taking nine shots. But at the end of the day, I don't want to fault Kevin Durant for making the right play every single time. If he's putting the ball on the floor and they're coming at him. He passing in the corner. Jabari missing. He passing to Kogi. He missing. Everybody.
Where is Amen Thompson supposed to be in all of this?
You said where? Thompson actually played well though.
Yeah, he played well. I'm talking about when we really needed it the most. If the defense is saying we taking option A away, that's when option B supposed to come to the rescue. and
Yeah,
force
no,
force the defense back to thinking about switching up their coverage. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Why is that not the case?
I mean, it's just like I say, Jabari Smith was open all night. He was open all night, and
Yeah,
like I said,
he was,
had
and he ain't have it. And the defense,
I ain't had no problem with it. Probably he still was able to impact the game without. He still was able to impact the game on defense, and he played very good on offense. He still was able to impact the games at some point down the stretch too. Make some plays down the stretch, but Jabari is the one missing all the shots down the stretch. And then, like I said, then Portland was hot the whole fourth quarter. They got hot the whole fourth quarter. Yeah, guys like Kamara, he's an improved shooter this year, making shots. Caleb Love making shots. They role players play way better than our play. Well, play way better.
That's what we was discussing earlier. Like Portland beat the Rockets at what the Rockets was trying to beat Portland at.
Yeah.
Like Udoka forced Portland into the game that he thought he was going to win, and it ended up being the inverse. We lost the game we was trying to force them to lose at. Like, again, we're a weird team. We don't make any sense, bro. Like, if you tell me a team that's second in net rating has a losing record in the clutch, it's with 7-11, then to me, bro, the process is just not making any sense. There's a lot of smoke and mirrors with the offense. I think all the offensive rebound stuff, bro, all that stuff has really made people really think that the offense is actually good just because we rank fourth in offensive rating, bro. Like,
I ain't never believe
sir.
That. I just never
bro.
believe that either, though. We didn't say that last year, though.
No, sir, bro.
Well, I think it's more on the shooting there because our offensive rating, when we were shooting the lights out of the ball, we were up in the top of the ranks, right? But whenever the shooting started falling off, it got worse, right?
Yeah,
so
we only fourth though in offensive rating now, total offensive rating.
Which is why the offensive rebounds is always going to give us some grace. But I think the shooting has to be good in order for us to win games, right?
That's what I'm saying. That's why I always say.
You know why?
I agree.
Like, we don't get enough points off of turnovers. We don't turn the ball over. We don't turn teams over enough to go out and get easy leaks for guys to feel good about themselves.
We don't get any easy shots.
We work too hard for everything. So, Coach, we were talking about there was a stat that this is not my stat. This is a stat that is real. I don't make up stats. So the Rockets are first in frequency of taking the most tightly contested jumpers, tightly contested shots. We are first with a bullet. And we're third in very tight, which is 0 to 2 feet of a defender. And then tight is, I think, 2 to 4 feet of a defender. So, and then wide open shots, we only generate, we're 25th in generating wide open shots. So we are always working hard to just get a shot off.
Yeah.
And we want to blame Jabari. All right. I'm not saying you are. I'm not saying either one of y'all are. I'm just saying the sentiment in the fan base is just because we got a bunch of box score watchers. Oh, he's missing shots. All right, bro. The offense is the reason why people.
Like I said, I think he can fix that though. It's just, I mean, and
that's just one game. By the way, that's just one game. It's really a few games.
Jabari Smith last year did the same thing, like beginning of the season. This time was beginning of the season. He did nothing but miss open shot, and I say he's gonna be fine. I'm not too worried about him. He can miss an open shot.
The reason why I'm looking at Jabari when it comes to this kind of stuff is because he's a role player. He takes role player shots. Well, he used to take role player shots. So if you look at the rest of the role players, they're really just doing what he's doing too. There's a reason why we don't. First of all, we already not generating no open shots. We only taking tough shots. He ain't the only one that this falls to. It's just that he's like the number one role player. You know what I mean? So he's the leader of the role players. So what he does is obviously is going to be magnified to when it comes to role player type, I guess, plays. So, but the rest of the team ain't. The rest of the role players ain't actually, you know what I'm saying, holding their water exactly either. I don't know if you consider Atlanta Thompson a role player or not. I don't know. He kind of borderline.
But see, and this is where I kind of get off on Jabari is it's really just about the shooting, right? Like if you go back and here, I got him right here. In the wins, he's shooting 50% from the field, 39.8% from three. In the losses, he's shooting 35% from the field and 32% from three. It's the him knocking down open shots,
Yep.
but taking only his shots, right? Like I think trying to scaling him up has brought him down to taking shots that he's not ready to take, right? Like I don't think he needs to be doing pull-up jumpers until he's able to knock down his open threes. Like I think you're asking him to do too much is causing him to struggle, right? Like if you weren't asking him to do all that, then you wouldn't have it. Because when you look at it, he plays more minutes in our losses than he does in our wins. And he has more uses. So you're asking him to do more than he's really able to do or complimentary able to do. So the best thing to do is you need to find the guys that are better creators, then allow them to have more creation and the ball in their hands a lot more, and then allow the role players to be the role players. Amen has just got to be more creative. KD, you got to take more shots in the clutch, especially if you don't have anybody else shooting them. I should have thought he had 40 last night. He should not have had 30. I brought this up earlier. Jaylen Brown, he's up 4 shots a game since Tatum's been out. What are we getting? We're getting more out of Jaylen Brown. Right now, Şengün's out. We need a little bit more out of KD. Unfortunately, when Şengün gets back, he can kind of rest. Otherwise, we're going to lose games. It is what it is.
That sound about right, man. I don't know if y'all want to. I don't know what else need to be said about it, man. Oh, real quick, Coach, I want to get your thoughts on the Rockets being boring. I think the Rockets are super boring this season, bro.
I mean, like I said, I don't got no. I mean, it is. I don't got no problem with that. I ain't gonna argue on that they've been bored. It is like I say, man. It's just amazing how we just lose games. How we lose games like this. It's really amazing. But like I said, I already knew what type of Portland. When we played Portland the first time, you just know. You just know they play with a sense of urgency and they play scrapping, they play hard. And, Thiago Splitter, again, just doing a hell of a job with that team. That young core is developing. And Caleb Love is good, man. That dude,
Caleb Williams, you think about football too much.
Caleb Love is really good, bro. Caleb Love is.
I know Caleb Williams is a beast, though, boy.
I've been watching that man since North Carolina and Arizona. He's a clutch shot maker too. He has some ability to make some clutch shot, and that's what they did. That's what they did last night. So at the end of the day, man, we had that big third quarter, and all of a sudden it just literally fell apart last night because of lack of execution, bad shooting, bad all around. And then in the end, we did everything we did to stop him. We did hold him down, but again, the role players played way better than now.
You know why? Because everybody was sure about what they needed to do.
Yep.
Everybody was sure. There wasn't a whole bunch of conflation of the hierarchy. Everybody knew who was next in line and who needed to do what in A, B, and C situations. Everybody knew. The Rockets, you start doing the same thing to KD, they don't look like that.
Yep.
Nobody really know what to do. Why? That man, Thiago Splitter, was just on your coaching staff, Ime Udoka. You got out-coached by him 2 games in a row.
Yep.
You made an adjustment, and he beat you to the punch. Reactive.
Every game we play seems like it's the first game of a playoff series.
Yep.
Doesn't matter who we're playing. It's always like nitty gritty, grind it down to the last few minutes. It seems like it's always 5 here, 10 there, but the lead never gets too out of hand.
No, yeah.
It seems like
we are winning. They find a way to keep it close just enough for the opposing team to get on the run. And then when we started trying to make the adjustment, it'd be kind of already too late. It'd be kind of already a little bit too late. We never put a game. We just really never put the game out of reach too much. We just never put it.
Every possession looks like we're up 4 with 2 minutes to play, and we're just killing the clock until we get to take a last minute shot. All right, you guys done?
Yeah, man, I'm ready to rock out. I gotta watch these football games, bro.
Yeah, Dante, you got to be here earlier, baby.
That's on me. That's on me.
We had a good old session too, boy.
I didn't even know we were having it. I didn't even know we were having this today. So I checked the group chat. I said, "Let me go up here."
We got to get it more
next week. Yeah, and that's on me, man. I've been trying to figure out a way to slot this thing in, bro, all season. Yeah, we'll do another one next week. Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna work with y'all schedule, man. We're gonna talk in the
Let's
group
get it.
chat.
Let's get it.
Anyway,
We
yeah.
need some objective criticism coming out. I can't grade everybody or blame everybody for everything.
Yeah. And when I talk about the process and Ime Udoka, I'm again, for the record, I don't want to get rid of Ime Udoka. I just want him to be quicker with his adjustments. I want him to adjust his process. He is too smart not to do this already. He's too damn smart. He know he's smart. He just doesn't trust his offensive mind enough. But anyway, that's it, man. Y'all tell everybody where people can find you, and let's get the hell on.
Twitter, X, it's down there. Y'all find it. Come see me. Don't miss out.
Twitter, X, same thing, X, Instagram, TikTok, everything, Coach Dante 5. Round Robin, A-Side Rundown. Y'all know where I'm at.
All right, man. Rockets. Yeah. Rockets Propaganda on YouTube. Rockets Run Robin on YouTube. H-Town Rundown on YouTube. AK Infinity _VVS on X. Anyway, we out. Go Rockets.
Blamer.
Put it